special day or occasion is the way that sports people have of recognizing and paying tribute to a man who has dedicated himself to his favorite sport and his team, whatever that may be. And there is no better example of a player like that than the player they are honoring here at the CNE Stadium today, Danny Nykoluk of the Toronto Argonauts. And it's been a long career for big number 60. This is his 180th consecutive game in uniform, and he has played in all 217 games in the CFL, including playoffs. He joined Argos in 1955 from Balmy Beach, and strange as it may seem, he missed the next season, not because of a football injury or because of the fact that he couldn't make the club, but because of a hockey injury. And that occurred when Danny was playing in a charity hockey game in the off-season and hurt his elbow. Danny Nykoluk is a sportsman, a true sportsman, and all that one should be. He hunts, he has dogs for that purpose, he golfs, he works out, and he stays in shape even in the off-season. And in general, keeps himself tremendously busy. He even builds his own homes and now is living in house number 3. Nykoluk has enjoyed playing these 16 years with the Toronto Argonauts. However, many of those years have been mighty lean for team victories. Now, of course, in this his retirement year, he would like to cap it all off with the Grey Cup because he is a member of a potential Grey Cup winner in this season. Danny Nykoluk was an Eastern All-Star in the Eastern Conference in 1967 and 1969, and he is big and he is strong, 6'3", 250 pounds. And he's seen a lot of football faces here with the Argonauts come and go over the years. People like Tobin Rote, Ronnie Knox, Billy Shipp, Menon Schriever, Peter Lisk, Carl Sweetan, Jackie Parker, and of course Cookie Gilchrist. And also coaches like Bill Swiacki, Steve Owen, Lou Agassi, Nobby Wierkowski, and Bob Shaw, and of course Leo Cahill. Danny Nykoluk has outlived them all, with the exception, of course, of the present coach, Leo Cahill. On the field, special ceremonies are underway, and I'll switch you over now to Don Chevrier to describe them for you. Don?
Well, this is Danny Nykoluk's day, as you've said, Tom, and a man who had a similar day here at the CNE not too many years ago. Great halfback Dick Shatto is in charge of the Danny Nykoluk Day ceremonies here this afternoon. And you can see in the background of the party there on the platform just some of the many awards that are going to Danny. Here's Dick.
It was 5 years ago this month that this same experience happened to me. And I certainly although Danny Nykoluk has mentioned many times that when he leaves the game this year, you won't see him again. But your enthusiasm, the enthusiasm of the press, radio, and TV, will linger with him all his life. And we, his friends, are here today to pay tribute to the 16 years of dedication, desire, effort, and determination that Danny has shown you. I would first of all like to introduce you to a couple of people. First of all, it started many years ago, and I'd like to bring out now Danny's mother and father, Mr. and Mrs. Nykoluk. A player's wife goes through just as much misery as the ball player. To put up with the unpredictable moods of an athlete takes a certain kind of woman. And Lil Nykoluk has been that woman. I'd like to bring her out now. Now for the fellow that's given you so many years of enjoyment and who the game is dearly going to miss, number 60, Danny Nykoluk. I would first of all like to call on the chairman of the Argonaut Football Club and a true sportsman, Mr. John Bassett.
Ladies and gentlemen, that reminds me of the great cheer I got 5 years ago at the same time, same kind of an occasion. I'm very happy today, on behalf of the Argonaut directors and the fans in this community, to give Danny Nykoluk a symbolic sweater. Number 60 is Danny Nykoluk's number. It will never again be worn by an Argonaut. I only have one final hope and wish for this great athlete who is captain of this team, and that is that the last game he plays and the last time that number 60 is seen on an Argonaut sweater, it'll be when Danny, as our captain, goes up to get the Grey Cup.
I would now like to call Ron Barbaro, the president of the Argo Playgap Club, for a presentation.
On behalf of Canada's most successful fan club, the Toronto Playback Club, we are giving Danny a beautiful watch. Plus, as you people know, we make many, many trips out of town following the Argos, and we always stay at the Skyline Hotel, and they have graciously donated, along with Air Canada, 1 week's vacation in Kingston, Jamaica for the Nykoluks. Danny?
Now, the players are on the sideline to help pay tribute, and I'd like to call one of the co-captains, Pete Markin, to make a presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege at this time to present to Danny, on behalf of the players, the coaching staff, the equipment manager, the ball boys, and Stan, our trainer, the beautiful yellow Skidoo. All I can say at this time is that Danny will be missed by his teammates, both on and off the field. Thank you.
Danny, you have many other friends that wanted to pay tribute to you. And on the trailer behind you are a number of things that people have sent in, and I'd like to read them off to you. You have a set of 5 Dual S90 tires from General Tire. You have a 101 field rifle from Jim, Nick, and Dick. You also have, you're looking for furniture. Toronto Bedding have a queen-size bed for you. Your friends in Oshawa send along a cash donation so that you and Lil can go out and buy some furniture. Canadian Golf Craft have donated a set of golf clubs for your
So this
summer
is Danny
enjoyment.
Nykoluk today, not his final day, certainly, in the colors of the Toronto Argonauts, because the Argonauts are hopeful they'll have many more games, including the semifinal, of course, next week. They're not sure where it's going to be, but they can be assured that Danny will be there. And he's a very unusual kind of individual, one who rarely, if ever, watches a football game on television. He says that when he does retire, he will not be back to the CNE, even as a spectator. He said for him, football is a game that he enjoys to play, but really can't bear to watch. And so Danny, the most unusual kind of guy, being given the highest tribute here today on the part of the Argonaut football fans and his teammates. He's been through 16 tough seasons. Tom McKee mentioned some of the coaches he's worked under, many of the personalities and players that he has worked with in the offensive line, but never has he been on a winning team, a Grey Cup team, because the Argonauts simply, since 1952, haven't been there. And so, as was the case with Russ Jackson last year, the storybook finish, going to a Grey Cup game, many of these fans here in Toronto are certainly hoping that the same fortune befalls Danny Nykoluk here in 1970 with the Argonaut football team.
But not on the wagon are the thousands of good wishes and cheers that the fans...
Nykoluk has had his share of injuries over the years. In fact, at the start of this season, he almost didn't make it. He had a back injury that Leo Cahill thought might keep him out for the entire season, and for him, his career. But he recovered very quickly, got back for the first league game, and hasn't looked back since.
Number 16, Danny will never look back and remember it forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has to be the greatest day of my life, and I have a lot of people to thank. Number one is my wife. It's pretty hard to live with a guy during the football season. I want to thank my mother and father, management, the directors of the Toronto Argonaut Football Club, coaches, the ball players, the equipment boys of the Toronto Argonauts. I have to thank a guy who's a personal friend, and I think without his work, this day wouldn't be possible. That's Dick Shadow. I would also like to thank all the people who donated the gifts, all the guys that helped Dick, Ron Barbero, Joe Robert, Herb Kearney, and if I forgot anybody else, I'm sorry. But I think that the people I have to thank the most are you, the fans. You've been loyal to the Toronto Argonaut Football Club for all the 16 years I've been here, and I think that the only way that I can repay you, or the rest of the ball players can repay you, bringing the Grey Cup to Toronto this year. Thank you.